Okay, this is installment 2 in my series of little videos about my guitars here, my favorite guitars. This one's number 2. This is my Fender Telecaster. This is an 81. It's an 81 Telecaster Special. I bought it in about 1993, probably about the first record it would have been on was the Badley's Unfortunate Result of Spare Time, right around there. And every record since. It was my main guitar probably for about 10 years or so after that. And as time went on, I kind of moved over to my 335 as my main instrument as I got into other things. But I still use this on every record that I do, just about. A lot of rhythm guitars with the Telecaster, the Badley's River Songs record. This was all the rhythm guitars, and most of the solos are the 335. So yeah, this is an awesome guitar. I'm a big fan. I was always a big fan of Keith Richards. So when I got into buying guitars, I knew eventually I had to have a Tele, and I saw this one on the wall at K&S Music in Winfield, Pennsylvania. That location's not there anymore, but it was hanging in there, and I'm kind of a believer that the guitars that stay with you kind of find you. I don't know if you find them. I went in there to get whatever that day, and saw it hanging on the wall, the light shining down, and I said, "You're mine." so I bought it, and we've been making music together ever since. It's a heavy guitar. The Tele is usually a Telecaster is usually a pretty light guitar, easy to hold, easy to carry around. This one is a pretty heavy beast. It has a brass bridge and ash body, so it's a hefty thing. I always said that when I'm 80, the left side of my body is going to be lower than the right side, just from carrying this thing, with the strap kind of going over the left shoulder there. When I got it, it was completely black, a lot of wear here, and like this is all from me sweating on it during shows, and like all that wore off from sweat, and there's these little speckles in here, kind of you like sweat on the guitar, and dirt gets in there, and it's kind of like your DNA gets into the guitar, so it's kind of part of you after time. This one has one silver tuner on it. The high E string is this little is a replacement because I was at a gig and I broke it, and I had from my first guitar I had all the old tuners from my Fender Strat with me, and I just grabbed one and stuck it on there, and then I never changed it. So I kind of like little stories like that. I had when I was a kid, I always thought it was cool. Like I was a fan of Pat Metheny, and he always had this toothbrush sticking out of his guitar because he was at a gig and he broke the strap button on the guitar and didn't have any way to hold his strap on, so he stuffed a toothbrush in there, and so he could get through the gig, and then he didn't change it forever. So it's like you always see him playing, he had this toothbrush sticking out of the guitar. So I like little stories like that with these guitars. To me, that I kind of, like I said, that the things I use a lot and I keep, I wear out. I just wear them down and wear them out. And I don't have like a whole pile of them. I just really use the ones that I have. Let's see what else. This I said this one. Like I said, this one's a very, very heavy guitar. And also what I was saying was the on the strings here, like I wrap them. I don't cut them. I do that on all my guitars, but basically the reason I did that is because when I was a kid, I lived in the country. I lived a long ways away from a music store, probably about an hour. And number one, I didn't have a car to go to the music store, and number two, I didn't have any money. So I'd get a couple sets of strings, and as I would replace them, I'd take them off and like wrap them up and keep them. And so that way, if I broke one or broke a couple, I could always put the old ones back on. If I broke the new ones, it's at least to hold me over till I got to go back to the music store, which wasn't very often. So it's just kind of like one of those little traditions that stuck with me. Now I give them to my wife to make crafts with, so they still get used. But if you cut them all and all that sometimes you can't get them back on the guitar because they're not long enough to get that extra length to get around the posts. So this thing is just that great kind of kerrang kind of sound. That just that. Just got that great classic Telecaster kerrang to it, and it's really in keeping with my personal style of the way I like guitar parts to sound. Just kind of not real overdriven, not a lot of overdrive or crazy, just kind of a little bit of a drive that you kind of pull out of the guitar by playing it harder, and that's the way I do it. And this guitar fits in real nice with the way I like things to sound and the music that I like. And a lot of the soundtrack to my life has been recorded on the Telecaster, whether it be my own stuff or the stuff that I spent my life listening to. So I'm happy to be a Telecaster owner, and this one's mine. This is my main Tele that I have, and that's its story so far. More to come.